Hi, welcome or welcome back. The DOS era was a mad scientist's lab, kinda like this. Developers mixed strategy with jousting, life sims with taxes, and first-person shooters with sci-fi horror. Today we're covering the strangest genres and mashups that somehow shipped, and even more surprisingly, also worked. The Populous by Bullfrog Productions is the pioneering god game in which you raise and lower land, shepherd your followers and smite rivals, all while basking in the love or fear of your devotees. It features a very indirect control with divine flair, so instead of issuing orders, you lead your people via acts of power like creation of suitable grounds, floods or volcanoes to name a few. Maxis's Ant Life Simulator, SimAnt, lets you lead a backyard black ant empire. You hatch workers to forage and dig, soldiers to fend off nasty red ants, and breeders to, well, breed. I'm sure that's not a surprise. And your goal is to spread your influence across the lawn and into the human's home. You'll also face hazards like rain, spiders, lawnmowers or whatnot, and you'll have a lot of fun. Sim-Earth is a planet-scale life simulation guided by the Gaia hypothesis, so you tweak atmosphere, continents and trigger evolution to shepherd life, all the way to the space conquest. Or crush it with disasters. The call is yours really, and the consequences of your actions are super captivating to observe, even if a bit slow burning. In the end though, who wouldn't want an entire planet as a pet? In Alter Ego, you're simulating an entire life of a person, be it a man or a woman, as there's been two versions of the game, starting from the first wobbly baby steps all the way to their golden years, making decisions that shape their personality, relationships and health. Certain choices that you make or sheer circumstance can cut the simulated life short, reflecting on the unpredictability of life. Archon Ultra answers never-asked question, what if pieces in chess were dipped in fantasy lore and if their clashes played out in an arcade manner? And it does so with surprising ease, losing none of the strategic depth of its board game roots but spicing it up with action-packed combat. Each encounter relies on both units' weapons and your skill, which makes for a lively experience. Talking about chess, Battle Chess brought traditional board strategy to life, and quite literally at that. It changed none of the mechanics, staying faithful to the classic's legacy, and instead added numerous beautiful and humorously made animations depicting clashes between the pieces, often shadowing famous movie scenes. It de facto became the chess game for non-chess players. In Moonstone, you're one of 4 knights handpicked by the druids to recover the legendary Moonstone. It's part turn-based map exploration, part real-time combat encounters against monsters and other knights, and part-time fun in towns, shopping, gambling and, well, praying for blessings or healing. It's a fantastic party game for grown-ups that's incredibly gory too. Imagine a turn-based strategy board game about uniting medieval England, where battles for land give way to hands-on arcade sequences, jousts, sieges and daring raids. Now, open your eyes. Yep, that's Defender of the Crown, a mix of strategy and cinematic pageantry that wooed players on release, especially for its rich artwork and atmospheric presentation. Jones in the Fast Lane is a humorous board game-style life simulation for up to 4 players. You'll juggle work, studying, shopping and downtime while paying rent, upgrading your wardrobe and chasing promotions, all to hit your self-set goals in money, career, education and happiness. So if you ever wondered if something like that's possible in the board game format, wonder no more. Sid Meier's covert action is like a spy thriller where you get to be a star, code breaking 1 minute, tailing suspects the next, then sneaking into enemy hideouts to rummage through their filing cabinets or interrogate them for their secrets. You unravel series of randomly generated criminal conspiracies in a form of various spy-themed minigames. Being a spy has hardly ever been so much fun. Imagine running a pizza empire where your biggest rivals aren't just chefs but the local mafia. In Pizza Tycoon, you design your own pies, manage staff, rent or buy property, furnish it and even advertise. All of that while keeping up with shifting food trends, your customers happy and your competition dealing with all the sabotages that you send their way. It's equal parts business simulation and wacky crime caper. It's fantastic. Floor 13 is a dark slice of early 90s intrigue in which you, under the guise of being a director of agriculture and fisheries, you run a secret shadowy government agency. You're the UK's deniable fixer, responsible for keeping the Prime Minister in the office. So manipulating the public, surveillance, disinformation, interrogations, torture or assassinations, nothing's off the table for as long as you can fulfill your task. Hidden Agenda drops you in the still hot seat of a fictional Central American nation of Chimerica. The old dictator is out and you're the newly appointed president tasked with steering a fragile democracy through turbulent waters. You'll appoint ministers from rival political factions, make tough calls on everything from agriculture to foreign policy, and try to survive a 4-year term without being overthrown, exiled or jailed. It's tough, but it's also fun. In Captain Blood, you play as Bob Morlock, a video game designer who accidentally gets transformed into his own game. Now, living as a grumpy Captain Blood, he's been stuck inside for over 800 years, vaporizing his own clones. And since they siphon his life fluid, he must kill all 30 to survive. And by the time you take control, my dear viewer, there's only 5 left. The weirdest thing about it though, is that you must master over 150 icons strong language to communicate with aliens you meet. Starflight 2 is a very Star Trek feeling game. It picks up when a brief chill-out period following the first game ended, with once pathetic spamming somehow obtaining access to exotic, fancy new tech. They instantly decide to use it for domination, which kinda sucks. Your task is to assemble a crew, explore the universe and find the source of the technological leak to spam in. So, you can expect a lot of discovery, diplomacy and combat. Today, Star Control 2 is considered a cult classic, but in 1992 it was just beginning to earn that reputation. You command a powerful precursor starship in a galaxy teeming with dozens of alien species, some eager allies, others sworn enemies. Your mission is to unite the 3 races to liberate Earth and defeat the evil Urkan hierarchy. Along the way, you'll juggle diplomacy, exploration, planetary resource gathering and intense ship-to-ship combat. In Nomad, you're a human astronaut on an espionage mission whose ship breaks out almost immediately after launching, only to be rescued by Granger O'Keefe of the Galactic Alliance. Next thing you know, you're helping Alliance stop the Korok, an advanced machine race that's set on wiping out of all life. You'll roam a galaxy of hundreds of planets, trade by bartering, chase down intel, run missions, tweak your ship and blast the occasional hostile craft too. What happens when space station's AI goes from helpful assistant to unhinged murder bot that cleanses the station of all of its inhabitants? Well, system shock happens. And Shogun, the AI in question, turned the space station into cyberpunk funkhouse of mutants, killer drones and death looming behind every corner. And you're the only survivor who woke up from a 6-month cryo-nap. It's a first-person RPG like no other. Quarantine is a dystopian, gloriously unhinged mashup of taxi driving and vehicular mayhem set in grimy, sealed-off prison city of Kimo in the 2040s. You play as a cabbie that upgrades his ride with an arsenal of weapons, ferrying passengers through this wild city, taking on bizarre and often explosive missions, all to finance your escape. It's a Mad Max meets cyberpunk kind of a game. Imagine Doom trading its spooky corridors for a post-apocalyptic rebel hub. That's Strife in a nutshell. It's an FPS with light RPG flavor. You chat with townsfolk, shop for upgrades and make choices that branch out the plot into 3 endings, all inside a hub-driven interconnected world. You're a member of a rebel group that opposes the evil world-ruling organization known as the Order. If you take worms and pump them up with enough caffeine to fuel a small star, you get Liero. It's a 2-player, worm-on-worm arena shooter that mixes traditional worms mechanics with real-time deathmatch. So, you dig through fully destructible terrain armed with a mix-and-max arsenal of around 40 wonderfully over-the-top weapons and tools, like ninja ropes, bazookas, Chiquita bomb, and others. It's fast, it's unpredictable, it's a hoot. The Incredible Machine is incredible. No, really, it is. It's a Rube Goldberg puzzle bliss that has you solving series of simple puzzles like putting a ball in a basket or turning the fan on. You know, nothing out of ordinary. But the way you achieve these goals, boy oh boy, that's something. Because getting that ball into that basket may take inflating a few balloons, firing a cannon to scare a mouse to run on a treadmill, several conveyor belts and scissors among others. Yeah, it is crazy. And fun. Mostly fun. What if you woke up in Robotropolis, an underground robot city where your only escape plan involves 3 quirky robots, Sparky, Checkers and Scanner, who don't know what to do until you literally rewire the brains. In Robot Odyssey, you solve puzzles by programming these bots with logic gates, turning them into your tool of freedom, one riddle at a time. It's a part adventure, part puzzler, part IT lesson. And despite its rather limited presentation, it's still fun. While Sierra Online was mostly known for the traditional adventure games, they occasionally ventured into other genres. Castle of Dr. Brain is a unique puzzle-adventure hybrid where you play as a prospective assistant to eccentric doctor. To prove your worth, you must run a gauntlet of rooms in his castle, each packed with puzzles themed around logic, math, astronomy, ciphers and more. If you're American and are not watching this video accidentally, wondering what this foreign-sounding boy is all about, then you know exactly what Oregon Trail is. If you're not from the US of A, however, and are also not here by mistake, I'd guess that you know too. But everyone else, listen, as it's super fun and educational at the same time. It's a survival life management game where you plan, prepare for and then try to survive a covered wagon journey from Independence, Missouri to the Willamette Valley in Oregon. Along the way, you'll make life or death decisions, from braving river crossings to managing dwindling food stores, and you might learn, sometimes the hard way, about the dangers of dysentery. DOS didn't just birth genres, it smashed them together with surprising ease, often creating incredibly fun, timeless and cult classic concoctions. And while not all of the titles we've spoke about would sell today, for one reason or another, the creativity behind them is unquestionable. Are there any other fun genre mixes you think that I've missed? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, hit everything you can click under it other than the thumbs down, and I promise that you won't regret it. Today, tomorrow is another thing entirely and I can't promise you the future. Either way, thanks a lot for watching, take care of yourself and I'll talk to you soon.